Welcome back to Dixon Does It. Last episode, we put our first coat of mud on. So now you got your mud on there. And what you're going to do is take your little scraper, find the high spots, and knock them down. Just like you're taking a razor blade. Just taking them off. You don't have to get the high spots. I mean, if it's a stupid spot, get that stupid spot too. Just take that off. Get everything sound and flat, and that's going to help with the flatness, because that's what we're looking for, is flatness. After you've got all that done, you want to take your bonding adhesive, or PVA, or Elmer's glue. Elmer's glue, I would say, add a little bit of water. This stuff's not that thick. I'm just going to put it in a pan. I'm going to start rolling it on. I'm only going to hit the walls. I'm not worried about getting it on the layer that we did. It may help it, but you really don't have to. I mean, you're going to put plaster on plaster. It's going to stick. So if you don't want to get all intricate trying to get around, if you're doing a repair job like I am, just put it all on there. Whatever. It ain't going to hurt it, All right, let me get that done. All right, so this stuff is messy. You're going to want a drop cloth or not care about your rug. I'm getting to the point where I don't care about the rug. I've got no light, of course, but I did get this up. I got one wall done. I left those. You want to know why? Because I smeared it on, and I did one pull, and then I saw that, and I'm like, I'm not going to try to fix it because then I'm going to have edges there. So I just left that, and I'll shave it off and then make it smooth. And then just a little bit of sand, a little bit of sand, and I can get this nice and smooth. But it looks good already. It should be able to take on some paint, some primer. The edges are where I'm going to have the problem. I'm going to have to come back and do all these edges, especially around here. So that'll be a little bit of work, but this whole thing is a bit of work. And I got to the corner, and I've got a corner trowel. That seemed to do okay. I'm going to have to come back and do a couple spots because there was a high spot here, and every time I went over it, it would leave a little bit of... Actually, I might even leave that, because if it's flat, which it is, I'm going to leave it. So that's where that's at. I'm going to keep moving. I lied. I'm not going to leave it. I was going to scrape it, and then I looked at some low spots, so I'm going to go over with one more coat. And what I bought was this stuff. Light green top. I bought, ultra lightweight. And I bought 2 of them. And I said, yeah, this is $1 cheaper. It's pre-mixed. I don't have to mix it. Well, it's bubbly. It's very bubbly. But once you smooth it out, it looks good. So I did a whole coat. Filled in low spots. I didn't fill them in really good because this stuff's going to dry and I know it's going to crack. So I just filled them in a little bit, went over it once, make sure it was good. I'm going to have to go over it again and fill it in with layers, especially the corner. This was the big crack right here. It looks pretty much gone by now, but I mean, I can see it. You probably can't see those light spots. Those are the high spots. So I'm going to go over this whole thing again. I went through a bucket and almost 2 buckets doing the rest of this. Oh, me and my light, so. And I did scrape some of that off, and then I stopped because I'm going to have to scrape the rest of it. So screw it, I'll do it all at once. But I did get it all on there. I wanted to do a comparison. I have the dark green top, the all-purpose stuff. And I was going to use that on one wall and use the light green on the other wall. And see which one was better for you guys. You guys. But this is dried out. I was putting it on the wall, over here, and the dry clumps were coming out. So I must not have closed it good enough. It's only a month old. But I got on top of it, and I was jumping, like, this is how I close it. Maybe I should close this one better. Get on it, and, walk around, stomping on it, make sure that it's closed. I guess it wasn't, because it's dried out now. So you buy the big pail, use the big pail, use it up. because you're just going to throw it out. I am making a mess in here. I got to get some more drywall up. Maybe I can do that today. I've got a couple pieces. Might as well. Mazel. Throw it up there. Lady Dixon's in here encroaching on my spot. She's got to get work done, though. It's cold in the basement. It's cold outside still. We're in the middle of May. It's cold out. Windy. Rain. Come on. In like a lion. We didn't come out like a lamb. We came out like a windy. This is stupid. We're halfway through the year. I'm rambling. All right, what's next? Here's what's next. I had this long, straight piece of metal, and I tried using it to right down the wall, you know, and it wasn't working. So I didn't use it. I used it twice, and I didn't like it. So I just kept using my 12-inch trowel, but not that. That's 6. That's 12. That's a hawk. But I was using that, and I was doing pretty good with it, you know. So I just used that. That came in handy. That is for my mortar, you know, slapping it on. And that came in handy up in that tight corner up in there. So, you know, it's nice to have tools. You know, even if you pay like $2 for them, buy them. It's $2. You might need them. All right. 24 hours later, you can see where it's still wet. And you can see where it's still dry. This is not, I mean, I can push in and it feels like rubber. And we've got a lot of little pinholes here. And, you know, spots that I missed. You know, I didn't want to, I'm not going too crazy with this. You look at this wall, you can see the spots that haven't dried yet. So I'll come back tomorrow. This is not a one and done day thing. This is why you pay people to do this stuff, because it just takes forever and they know what they're doing. Unlike me. Wet spot. And the next day. That wall looks a little drier. But I've got some spots, like over here where it was real deep. That's still mushy. We're starting to get our crackage here. See, it's starting to crack because you put it on too thick. But that'll get filled with the next layer. The next layer is going to be real thin. I can start to scratch off all these parts that I left. I think that's what I'm going to do today. I got this smooth, but up here's not, so I'm going to have to fill that in. And when I was scraping down here, it all was bumpy, so I'll probably get that smoothed out. Yep, let's get to work. It's like a month later, and it's 90 degrees out, and I'm still not done with this room. So I'm just gonna fast forward through all this stuff. First, I'll sand. All right, quick and easy. I got my screen. I knocked all the high spots down. Anything that was super high, I took out. Along here, I'm cleaning it. I have a small brush because you're gonna get a lot of dust down in here. Clean it so you can get in there. And then, specialized tool. Use your hand. This spot looks like it may be high or low to you, but if I feel across it, it's fine. So this must be the 90-minute mud, and this must be that lightweight mud. It's fine. It feels flat. It's smooth. Oh, I hung up on a spot. You can grab this and just get rid of it. Or use some water and a sponge. Just go over it. 90-minute mud won't do that, but this lightweight stuff will. Wear your mask, people. I started without it and said, duh, where's my mask? I've learned my lesson. Now I've got a very deep spot here that I'm not going to get. That's where the pencil comes in. I'm going to draw around it, and I'm going to come back and fix that. So I've started up there, made my way all the way down here, and I've got one spot that I could sand it away, but then it's just going to be too divoted in. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm just going to go around the room and do all that up. All scraped, all sanded, ready to go. This side, I never did a skim coat over it, so I got to do a skim coat over that. Not a big deal. All my baseboards, I scraped the paint. I'm going to tape it off. I'm going to do that while I'm at it. All up and down in here. Bad thing, in this corner here, none of this dried. I used the green top mud it just didn't dry. So I'm going to mix up some 90-minute mud. I'm going to add that PVA or Elmer's glue or whatever you want it. That'll make it rock hard. I'm not going to put a lot in there. I'm going to pack it in here. I'm going to use my corner trowel. And then we'll come back after I do all that. Alright, so that's a sheet of drywall. That's what's left. I got the ceiling up. I've got the walls up. And the only thing that I had to make that, remember, because we got our plumbing up through there. The only thing I don't like is, you see that? It goes wrong. So I may build this up, because when I put my trim molding around, I don't want to have to fill it in and make it look stupid. So I'll build it up a little bit, and that way it'll be straight. I don't even know how much it's off. It looks like probably an inch. Oh well. Back to work. That's another episode of Dixon Does It. Dining room's coming along swell. I mean, it's taken not longer than I thought it would. I knew I would take my time on it. So I got to do drywall. You guys have seen me do drywall. I'll come back when I'm doing trim, and I'll show you how I'm going to not have to do my corners from the ceiling to the wall.